Welcome to another episode. Today my daughter Fiona is going to show you 2 fun gooey projects you can do with your kids this summer.
So we're going to show you how to make homemade Play-Doh. What you'll need is flour, a big pot, food coloring, which is optional, salt, cream of tartar, oil, water, some measuring utensils, a spatula, and a knife. So to start off, I'm going to grab 1 cup of flour, and to make sure I'm getting the right amount of flour, I'm going to tap the top of the flour, then I'm just going to scrape it into the bowl, into my flour box. Then I'm just going to dump everything into the pot. And then you'll need half a cup of salt. Dump it in. 1 teaspoon cream of tartar. This one's a half teaspoon, so I'm going to need to do 2 of these. Then all the wet ingredients is a cup of water, tablespoon of oil, and then I'm just going to give this a quick stir. So it looks really liquidy right now, but it will get thick once we put it on the stove. Let's take it over to the stove now. So it's starting to get really thick, but we're not quite there yet. Make sure you keep scraping and stirring it so it doesn't burn. And it looks like the Play-Doh is done. So let's take it off the heat. So we set it on a tray and we're going to let it cool for a little bit because it's very hot and it hurts to touch it. But once it's cooled off, we're going to add the food coloring one by one. You could do this while it's on the stove, but if you wanted multiple colors, you would have to make multiple batches or just have it all be the same color. So I'm going to do it after. So we just kneaded it. And so what that looks like is stretching out the dough and spreading it out. And we do that to make the dough smooth and also to cool it down faster. So now that we have it a little bit cooler, I'm going to cut it up. So now I'm going to add the color to each one. I'm going to start with a couple drops and then I'm just going to add more. And be warned, the color might get on your hands. You might get a little food dye stain. The tray protects your work surface from getting stained. So I chose the primary colors in purple because you can mix pretty much any colors with the primary colors. And I chose purple because purple is sometimes kind of hard to mix. So I had a purple dye, so I wanted to use that. And then also, while you're kneading these, make sure to take your time and don't add too many drops of food coloring at one time, because then you might end up with a color you don't actually like. And then your Play-Doh's ready to play. Now we're going to show you how to make Oobleck. So for this project you'll need a bowl, cornstarch, a measuring cup, some food coloring, this is optional, some water and a measuring spoon, and a spoon to stir. To start off, I'm going to add 1.5 cups of cornstarch. Then I'm going to slowly add 1 cup of water, but I'm not going to do all of it at once. Then I'm going to stir. If it's too thick and chunky like this, you can add more water. So now that I've mixed it up, I'm going to add my food dye. But also what you could do is add the food dye to the water before, so you don't have to mix it when it's kind of harder to mix. I'm going to mix. Now you're ready to play. And the cool thing about Oobleck is like you can punch it and nothing will really stick. So it's hard when you move fast, but it's liquid when you go slow with it. And you can play with how much water and how much cornstarch you add. It's a great project for outside or in the bathtub because it can get pretty messy. But be careful about how much food dye you add because my hands turned a little bit green. Oops.
This episode was largely recorded and edited by Fiona. Thanks for watching.